Have you ever wondered what literally a billion people are clicking on right this very second? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a seriously fascinating journey into human psychology and the digital landscape to decode the anatomy of virality. Now, we aren't talking about fleeting trends or silly little memes here. No, we're looking at the core content strategies that are capturing global attention right now. Because, by analyzing the data behind the absolute most massive topics of 2026, we can actually see a real-time reflection of our collective hopes, our fears, and our deepest curiosities.
Okay, let's dive right into this. What actually makes a topic go viral? In the 2026 attention economy, it's not just about some random algorithm pushing content to your feed. It is driven by fundamental human nature. Think about it. When millions of people across the globe all click on the exact same topic, they are basically telling us what matters most to them. So we're going to look at the precise blueprints of these highly clickable subjects to understand exactly what is capturing the modern mind.
Let's start with Section 1, Future Wealth and New Frontiers, looking at the shift in economies and ambitions.
Right now, there are two massive global concepts absolutely dominating our screen time. First up, the future of money. We are seeing intense curiosity around this idea of a completely cashless 2030, along with central bank digital currencies and the impact of crypto. People are just endlessly fascinated by how we're fundamentally shifting the way we value and exchange things. But what's really wild is that right alongside our digital wallets, we are looking up. Space Race 2.0 isn't just about putting a flag on the moon anymore, right? It's about massive private companies actively battling for Mars. Both of these topics show a collective, almost desperate thirst for entirely new frontiers. We want to expand our physical borders just as much as our financial ones. Now, here is where it gets kind of fascinating. We are seeing a massive split in how we consume the concept of success. On one hand, millions are absolutely devouring the hidden secrets of billionaires. They're looking for that ultimate individual agency, the perfect morning routine or that ultimate productivity hack. But simultaneously, there's an absolute explosion of content about the changing, fracturing American dream. Stuff focusing on systemic realities, like the housing crisis, the shifting job market, and the rising cost of living. It's wild. We are collectively obsessed with extreme wealth optimization, while at the exact same time, deeply anxious about basic survival.
And that tension brings us perfectly to Section 2, the modern human crisis, confronting our darker realities.
Why millions feel more alone than ever. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the most viral sentiments out there right now. People are actively seeking out content that addresses the loneliness epidemic. They want to understand the trends in mental health and the shifting dynamics of modern relationships. It's a deeply personal topic, for sure, yet the sheer volume of interest proves that it is a universally shared experience in 2026.
A major driver of that isolation actually leads us to a darker curiosity. The idea that social media is quite literally rewiring your brain. Audiences are intensely eager to peek behind the curtain of digital addiction. They want to understand the mechanics of the attention economy itself. And, it totally makes sense. We all want to understand the invisible forces shaping our daily thoughts, don't we? And interestingly, this internal anxiety actually projects outward. Right alongside these personal crises of the mind, we're seeing massive spikes in macro threats, specifically the water crisis. When content frames this as the next global crisis nobody is talking about, it goes incredibly viral. Viewers are actively seeking out information on water shortages and climate impact. It's like our human psychology is naturally drawn to these looming planetary threats, creating a direct line between the anxiety inside our heads and the anxiety about the world outside. But because of the sheer weight of these modern crises, we need an outlet. So, Section 3, escapism, mysteries and secrets, the pursuit of the unknown. So, how do we escape? Well, first, micronations. The idea of, hey, can you just start your own country is highly captivating. Think of the wild story of Sealand. It's basically the ultimate fantasy of just throwing your hands up and opting out of the system entirely. Combine that desire for a fresh start with titles like 5 Unsolved Mysteries That Still Confuse Scientists, and you have an absolute click magnet. Content exploring deep ocean secrets, ancient civilizations, and lost technologies provides the perfect psychological escape hatch. It reminds us that the world is still full of wonder and unknown secrets.
Which leads us to Section 4, the ultimate survival scenario, the climax of global attention. This is it. What if the internet stopped working tomorrow? This single premise perfectly encapsulates modern virality. It touches on our deepest fears, our complete dependencies, and our primal survival instincts. Survival and disaster scenarios exploring a sudden, complete digital blackout are currently the absolute pinnacle of content strategy. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the precise formula behind it. Look at the specific parameters here. What if the internet disappeared for 7 days? To capture a massive global audience across the USA, Europe, and India, the sweet spot is exactly 10 to 15 minutes. And the style needs to be a very specific hybrid, part documentary, part explainer, and part mystery. This is the exact blueprint used to pull in massive viewership because it promises a structured, highly engaging journey right into the heart of chaos. To keep viewers hooked for those full 15 minutes, the narrative has to build a chronological tension. Day 1, sudden isolation. You can't text, you can't use maps, you literally can't even buy a coffee. By day 3, complete economic collapse. Supply chains freeze, digital banking goes completely dark, and panic sets in. By day 7, we're into massive global impact and primal survival mechanisms, walking the viewers step by step through that rapid collapse from a minor inconvenience to a total societal shift. That is exactly what glues eyes to the screen. So virality isn't just random. It's a real-time mirror reflecting our ambitions, our loneliness, our desperate desire for escape, and our fragile reliance on this digital world. To wrap up this explainer, I leave you with this final provocative thought. If all the screens went dark tomorrow, what would your first day actually look like?